Senator Siewert, you wish to move a motion to take note of answers?
Yes, I wish to take note of the answer from Senator Wong in response to a question from Senator Milne over the cuts to single parents. As we know, this chamber in October last year unfortunately passed the bill that brought in the moving of single parents from parenting payment single to Newstart when their youngest child turned 8. And at the time, it was only the Greens, Senator Madigan and Senator Xenophon who opposed those cuts. I'll repeat that. There was only those 11 people out of all this chamber who opposed those cuts. And yet now we have members of this chamber out there saying what a terrible thing it is that Newstart is so low and that single parents have been transferred from parenting payment single to Newstart, cutting their payments between $60 and on average $120, although I've heard of $130 to $200 a week, depending on if you've been working or not. And yet we have MPs from this place, Senator Cameron, who Senator Milne asked the question about today, also saying that they're deeply concerned that these people are living in poverty. If you go and check the Hansard record, you can easily see that those senators who are now out talking in the community about how terrible it is voted to support those cuts. There was only 11 of us who opposed those cuts, all Green senators and Senator Madigan and Senator Xenophon. Well, those MPs and senators who have been talking so much in the community about those terrible cuts, and they are terrible, but where did they care when they were voting on it? They'll have an opportunity to express their support for single parents and those on Newstart. Today I'm introducing my Social Security and other legislation amendment bill, Caring for Single Parents. I'm introducing this in about 10 minutes' time. They'll have an opportunity to show their support for that bill. That bill increases the payments to single parents by $40 a week, which is on top of, and I expect them to support my other bill, which is on top of my bill to increase Newstart by $50 a week. I hope that they'll come out today and express their strong support for that legislation. And when it's debated in this chamber, I expect them to be voting with us to support it. I also think and expect to see them supporting our motion tomorrow, which highlights the extreme poverty and distress that the cuts to single parents has caused and calls on the government to reverse their changes to single parents and the changes that dump these single parents onto Newstart, cutting their income by so much. I expect them to support that motion, and then the community can see whether people that will go out to the community and express their support actually follow it up with deeds in this chamber, follow it up with real action that puts pressure on this government to support the most vulnerable in our community. Talk is cheap. Real action means that they need to come into this place and be prepared to cross the floor to support those people that they are saying are being treated with contempt, that in effect it is contempt. By dumping these people onto Newstart, you treat single parents, the majority of which are single mothers, with contempt. I also yesterday released 430 accounts of those people that are struggling to make ends meet on Newstart, accounts of mothers going hungry to feed their children, accounts of mothers not being able to pay utilities, of having to not have the heater on in winter because they can't afford to pay their utilities, accounts from mothers and fathers who are forced to move accommodation or have lost their accommodation, that are forced to go to emergency relief organisations. There are thousands of such stories, in fact 84,000 that have been transferred already, with more to come. The people that are out there, that senators such as Senator Cameron is out there very rightly supporting single parents, but that needs to be converted into action in this chamber. And the Greens will provide the opportunity for senators who have expressed such strong support for single parents and those on Newstart to express their real commitment by supporting our motion, by supporting our legislation, to take some real action to help those most vulnerable members of our community who deserve our support, not to be ignored when they're voting.
The time has expired. The question is the motion moved by Senator Siewert be agreed to. Those to that opinion say aye. To the contrary, no.